I'm very pleased, a little change, but I'm very pleased to introduce Secretary of Commerce Machelle Sanders. Machelle is a native North Carolinian, mother of twin daughters, seasoned pharmaceutical and biotech executive, as was I, Secretary of Commerce, before I started doing this well-paid gig. Cha-ching. Machelle Sanders is passionate about improving the status of women in our state, and as she puts it, improving the status of women in North Carolina is not just a women's issue. This is a family, poverty, and economic issue. It's my great privilege to introduce Secretary of Commerce, Machelle Sanders.
Good morning, everyone. Or shall I say good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Machelle Baker Sanders, and yes, I'm the Secretary of North Carolina's Department of Commerce, and I am honored to be here today celebrating the anniversary of the certification of the 19th Amendment. Today, we honor all women who came before us, all those ladies who came before us and fought hard to win our right to vote. We recognize the brave individuals who risked everything to stand up for women's equality, who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into the women's movement. And today, I stand on the shoulders of those women, and so do you, don't you, ladies? So we thank those who formed the backbones of women's liberation, but are all too often left out of our history books. Our Black, brown, gay, and trans sisters. We celebrate our victories among those, our ability to seek higher education, to hold positions of power in government and in the workplace, to have as many or as few children as we'd like to have, to divorce, to take out loans without a male cosigner, to expand our identities beyond that of just a mother, and I don't know where people got just from, just a mother and housekeeper, if we choose. But today we must acknowledge that the progress is still yet to come, and we have much work to do. Women still face barriers to professional advancement. Our progress halted by the so-called glass ceiling, a phenomenon that disproportionately affects Hispanic, American Indian, and Black women. For that matter, it affects us all. We still make less money than our male counterparts, even when we have the same level of education and do the same doggone work. Now that has to stop. Women with a bachelor's or advanced degree will earn 67.6 cents for every dollar earned by a man with the same educational attainment. Yet, the last time I checked, women are required to pay the very same tuition fees, the very same taxes, show up the same as anybody else as our male counterparts. Median annual earnings for women in North Carolina are $36,400, placing the state as the 32nd lowest in the nation, compared to $45,000 for men. The gender wage ratio in North Carolina is 80.9%, a gap of 19.1%. Now, if the current trends continue, working women in North Carolina will not see equal pay until the year of 2060. Now, I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure I won't be here in 2060. My daughters may not be here, but surely we can do better than 2060, ladies. Let's try to get this thing moving and get it moving towards us seeing it during our lifetime, so our grandchildren and children's children and those children's children don't have to stand and fight the very same struggles, battles, and barriers. This is simply unacceptable and inexcusable. The reality of the situation is inequality hurts everyone. Inequality hurts everyone. If working women in North Carolina were paid the same as comparable to men, average earnings for women would increase $6,628, equivalent to a 19% raise just by being considered equal. And we want our fair share, don't we, ladies? We want our fair share. Added up across all working women in the state, the increase would amount to 15.6, let's just say 16 billion with the B dollars. That's a lot of money. That's 3% of North Carolina's gross domestic product. Think of the impact. So you can see that pay inequity is not just a woman's issue. It's a family issue, a business issue, a community issue, and an economic issue. Let me hear you share it with me. Pay inequity is not just a woman's issue. It's also a family issue, a business issue, a community issue. It's an economic issue. This increase in earnings would reduce the poverty rate among working women by more than half. Ladies, we have been devastated by this pandemic. So have our male counterparts, but let's face the facts. Women are struggling and suffering in the workplace and outside the workplace, trying to manage and juggle all those things that we do that are so instinctive to us. So, what could North Carolina accomplish with this larger GDP? What could it accomplish? Child care. Better teacher pay. Healthier babies. Safety. It could help care. It could accomplish what many behind me are having problems solving, the issue. But what it takes to solve that issue is not only intellect that all of us bring to the table with our uniqueness. It takes courage. It takes strength. It takes resilience. It takes standing in the face of adversity. And it takes standing for right. And when it comes to equality, you can never go wrong with standing for equality. So what would our state look like if women were paid fairly for their work? What would it look like? What would it feel like to have the extra, not extra, but to have the other $6,000 that you so deservingly should have, that and more? What would the country look like if women were truly treated equally? I'll tell you what it would look like. It would look like beauty, art, science, power, stamina. It would look like a place where every and anybody is welcome to thrive, to take care of their families, to take care of their communities, to have a voice, to run this country, ladies. That's what it would look like. And so today, what we're talking about is an important matter. It's one that I am passionately committed to because I know what it's like to be a woman and to be the only woman in a place. I know what it's like to be a black woman, and I know what it's like to be treated with inequitable practices. And so I stand with you. I continue to stand with you. Let's exercise our right to vote that so many fought for. Let's put a female in the governor's house. Let's put a female in the president's White House. Let's put a female in the classrooms, in the hospitals, in the doctor's office. Let's put a female sprinkle all about every place and have equal voice and equal power. We can't afford to accept less than we deserve. And women, we have fought too hard and come too far to stop now. So let's keep this thing going, and let's make sure we do it so others behind us won't have to. Love you all, and thank you all for everything that you do for equity and inclusion.